Hi everyone, it's Gavin with the Adventures of Iona Fay Bedtime Stories. It's Sunday night. Are all of you ready? It's 8 o'clock over here on the East Coast and it's 5 o'clock over on the West Coast, and I hope you're having a great day today. It is so hot over here. It is so hot. I just threw on this little sweater to do a cover-up because it's just like you just want to wear tank tops and that's it. That's all you want to wear. And I just didn't think that was probably the best. Well, tank tops are okay, but I wanted something a little nicer for all of you. So this is the 7th video that we've been doing here for the Iona Fay Bedtime Stories, and my name is Gavin Powers. And I see we have a couple visitors here. It's nice to see all of you. My name is Gavin Powers. I'm the author of The Adventures of Iona Fay, and the first book is The Adventures of Iona Fay, and it's an Irish fairy tale. The second book that just came out in March is Iona Fay and the Firekeepers, and right now I'm reading to you from book 1, and so this is the 7th installation that we've read so far. We're going to read all of chapter 7 and probably a little bit, if not all, of chapter 8 as well, because they're pretty short chapters this week. Oh my gosh, is everyone else as hot as me? I know the Cantillas are probably going to be watching sometime soon, and I remember Wendy was saying that, I think it was yesterday, that it was over 100 yesterday over in Portland, and oh my gosh, it must be sweltering. I remember what Portland weather was like when it was that hot. It is really hot over here as well too. Fortunately, I don't think it's over 100, but it's very, very humid. So that is taking its toll on us. And before we get into reading the books, we're going to let a few other people join us. And what I want to show you is this is the Iona Fay crystal that I'm holding on to. Let me see if you can see this up close. Actually, this is another crystal. It's the Iona Fay crystal, and I'm giving it away. Right now, all you have to do in order to be entered to win is go ahead and name the Airstream trailer that we have online. It's a little bit below this post. Hi, Pete. Hi. I hope you and your girls are having fun and joining us. I'm sending you out here's a big bunch of hearts for you and all of your ladies over there. If you go to page 10, you can see where that crystal is. Let me show it to you. It's right here on page 10. And that is what one lucky winner is going to win. Is going to be that crystal. Whoever wins naming the Airstream. So those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Airstream, what's an Airstream and what are you talking about, lady? Airstream is a trailer that we're going to be taking within a week or two. We're going to be driving it to a bunch of the national parks and doing a book tour throughout. We're going to be reading a lot, or I'm going to be reading a lot of the chapters at parks, and you're going to get to see some really beautiful places as we travel. And we're going in this vintage Airstream that we've just been remodeling, and so it's been really fun, and I can't wait to go, and I'm so excited. And I'm not going to show you what the rest of the room looks like right now, but it's a total mess. It's actually packed up and ready to go and to go on this journey. Hi, Maureen. Here's a big heart for you too. Sending lots of love your way. Nice to see you, everyone. So, so that's the contest. Please go ahead, and we've actually had some really amazing entries, but please, the more the merrier. I think we've had, let's see, Ashley and Mia, they entered one, and Henry entered one called, I think it's Ashling the Airstream. We had, I think Rachel said Vacation, and I know Lynn, she put in Fairy Wings. There's all sorts of, everyone's come up with all sorts of ones. Someone else, Jen put in Ride Sally Ride, call her Sally, and I thought that was awesome, and I had to laugh for a number of reasons. And Yvette, if you're watching this, you'll know why, and we'll keep that reason to ourselves. But it involves karaoke night, and that's all I'm going to say. But it also involves my aunt named Sally, who is so awesome, and I would love to have an Airstream named Sally because she would be going all over the planet with us. That would be really cool. So please go ahead and put in whatever names you think would be good for the Airstream. I love seeing all the entries. It's really fun. Let's talk just briefly about, we're going to get into chapter 7 and 8, and we're also going to talk about what we've read so far. So in case you missed the first 6 chapters, it's okay. I'm going to talk briefly about them before we get into the other chapters. But also, if you want to go ahead and listen to them, you can just go down a little bit further, and there's other chapters that I've read to people as well. Kathy, hey Kat, how are you? Hi, big hugs, lots of love coming to you. Please go ahead and look at those videos if you have not done so, because someone's reading to you. And I don't know about you, but I used to love having my parents read to me. That was one of my favorite things. So that's why I like doing this for all of you as well. So chapter 7 and 8, it's all about Iona is having a consequence, and she's having to deal with those consequences. And show me with some hearts across the screen, or like some thumbs up. How many of you remember getting consequences as a child? I know I did. And Pete, you grew up down the street from me, so I know that you knew probably you knew my parents. My consequences probably weren't the greatest. I don't think yours were either. So, Maureen, you had some severe consequences too. So, yeah, nobody likes consequences, but you know, every action has a reaction. And if you do something that you know you're not supposed to do, and you go against your parents, well, there's going to be a consequence. So, Iona Fay in chapter 7 and 8, she's got to deal with her consequences, and we don't always like that, but that's just the way that life works, and it's a big lesson to learn. So let's go ahead, let's briefly talk about what's happened so far up to this point. So if anyone's joining us for the first time, they can go ahead and they can get just quickly caught up. So chapter 1, it's called Irish Omens and Wee Sheep. Iona arrives in Ireland. She's never been there before. She's just met her grandmother for the first time. She sees something that she thinks is a black sheep, and it's kind of creepy, but then she realizes that it's the smallest man that she has ever seen in her life, and she calls him the wee man. And then chapter 2, she goes onto a car ride, and this chapter is called A Crazy Cabbie and a Convoluted Car Ride. So she goes on this crazy car ride with this guy named Flynn, who she just thinks is a maniacal driver and just is absolutely nuts. And she's trying to find her cottage where she's going to stay with her grandmother, and she discovers that it's a pre-famine cottage, and it basically looks like just a pile of rubble and a shack, and she's mortified that she's got to stay there, but this is how it is. Hi Denise, thanks for joining. Okay, then we go on to chapter 3, and this is the cottage of gloom, doom, and no room, because it is infinitesimally small. Here's a picture in the book. Let's see if you can see that. Yep, there she is. She's arriving. There's some butterflies that show up around her, but she is feeling like a fish out of water, not quite sure what to do. She's used to being in California, and she meets her grandmother for the first time, and she's not really sure what to make of it. And I don't know if any of you have ever met someone for the first time, maybe a family member, or well, yeah, we've all met family members for the first time. You know, maybe when you're a little bit older, it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes when that happens, and you're not sure what to make of it, and it takes a little while sometimes to settle in, and sometimes you just hit it right off with people right off the back. Like Kathy, who joined me, she's just like family, hit it right off the back with her. So anyone who goes and visits Kathy knows that she is very warm and welcoming. All right, chapter 4, A Lullaby Sings of Crystal Dreams. So this is a flashback for Iona, and she is going back, and she's remembering the last moment that she saw her mom. And so her mom gave her a crystal necklace that she wears all the time, and it's pretty much her prized possession. It's the one thing that she loves most in life, and it's the one thing that she carries with her all the time and reminds her of her mom. And her mom gave it to her the night that her mom left, and she hasn't seen her mom in over a year. So then we move on to chapter 5, Time Tellers and Pesky Fellas. So this is where Grandma discovers that Iona can't clean. Well, can't clean to Grandma's standards. Grandma does some weird kind of cleaning, and we discover that it's actually magical cleaning, and Iona has no idea what's going on. And Iona almost breaks some of Grandma's time tellers, which are these delicate little like teapots. And so Grandma's not happy at all. So then we move on to chapter 6. Rules are uncool. And Iona is not happy because now she has rules. She has to get up. She's got to do work. She's got to do chores. And Grandmother tells her that she's not allowed to go outside back into the forest. And Iona doesn't believe her that it's dangerous. But her grandmother says, you need to promise me that you're not going to go back there. And Iona's like, sure, yeah, whatever. And doesn't really hold much to it, but something's just not right. Oh, and a little side note, Iona's hair has turned a weird color overnight, and they're not really sure why that's happened, but something weird is going on. So there's lots of magic amidst. We're not really sure where it's coming from or why it's happening, but hopefully we're going to get to the bottom of this. Yep, I think we will. Okay, y'all ready? Let's get some thumbs up. Y'all ready? Ready for chapter 7? Let's get started. Do we have any questions before I move on to chapter 7, or is everyone ready? After I'm done reading chapter 7 and part of 8, or if not all of 8, please go ahead and stay on the line. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you all about the contest, a little bit more about the contest and when it's going to be up and everything else, and a little bit more exciting news that I am just chomping at the bit to share with you. So, okay, I can't wait. I'm going to tell you some of it now. Here's the deal. So I'll share with you the contest stuff at the end, but I have to tell you, I'm so excited because I've been redoing my website and there's so much stuff on it. And now that we're going to be traveling, we're going to have lots of updates. We've got an Instagram page. We're going to have updates on the blog. You're going to be able to see where we've gone. And it's really cool because I've got some really fun games and things like that. You're going to be able to go on and you can download some like crossword puzzles and word searches and some little coloring pages of Iona Fay and her friends. So, and that'll be for free. So that's going to be up probably within the next week. So please go ahead and take a look at gavinpowers.com and ionafay.com. It's not up right now, but probably a week from now it will be. I'll let you know when it is, but it's going to have some fun stuff for you and your children to go ahead and take a look at. All right, chapter 7, the Queen of Clean. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and just to forewarn all of you, I am terrible with an Irish accent. I mean, I thought I was pretty good, and then my friend who is Irish, I did around her, and she said, what accent is that? And I said, well, it's Irish, right? And she goes, none that I've ever heard. So we'll just kind of fudge it. This is how I would read for my son, so I'm going to do the same for all of you. And just enjoy the fact that you're getting a reading, and you may not want to put your covers up. You want to make sure you have the fan on and the phone turned up, and make sure you're nice and cool and have a nice glass of water or something by the bed so you can cool off. Okay, chapter 7, the Queen of Clean. A salty ocean breeze and smoke fills my lungs as my life of servitude continues with Grandma, the Queen of Clean. I've dusted the house, dug up peat moss, started a fire, and made our lunches of bread and cheese. 2 hours ago, I started pulling weeds and tossing them into a burn pile. Unfortunately, there are still more weeds. In the quiet of work, it finally hits me. I'm here. I'm finally in Ireland. All year since Mom was gone, all I wanted to do was visit her here. But my dad forbade it. He said no. A thrill of being able to see her overcomes me. But regret drowns out my excitement. I'm still responsible for what happened to my dad. It's been raining the last hour and I've been pulling weeds. I am done. No one in Southern California would garden in the rain. I'm still jet-lagged, I'm tired, I am cranky, wet, and I want to see Mom. and I still don't even know the name of the institution where she's living. Grandma hands me a bucket of water. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Dana. My watery reflection stares back at me. Bits of my black hair frame my face. I don't look like myself. My fingers tuck my dark hair back into my cap, and I shoot my fingers into the water. Finally, I say, relieved that we're finally finished cleaning for today. Mud oozes off my hands and into the water. The sooner I wash my hands completely clean, the sooner I get back to the warm peat moss fire indoors. Grandma shoves a brush into my hands. Thanks, but I got it, I say. Only a few more scrubs and my hands will be clean. They'll just get dirty again, they will, she says. Huh? That's all I can muster. What is she talking about? She points to a pre-famine shack next to her cottage. You need to polish her until she gleams. You're joking. I never joke when it comes to cleaning. Can't we just hire a maid? Then you'd never learn. Learn how to what? Be an indentured servant? Grandma just simply smiles and ignores my comment. I'd fake homework or some old excuse if I could actually think of one. To clean the hut, move the brushes in circles, she says, dipping the brush in the water and scrubbing figure eights over the stones. Oh, I am fed up with it all. My dad passing away, my mom, who is, I don't know, somewhere, stupid Ireland, dreary weather, and a tiny houses. Torture me with the rack if you must. I am not cleaning, not until I see my mom. Glory be! The rack is only for Arctic days, she says. She thinks she's being funny, but I don't say anything. To see your mom, you must clean. That's the worst excuse for child labor I've ever heard. Is this because I couldn't get rid of the bubbles yesterday, I ask, calling her out. Aye, it is. Pity. You needed to learn this, you did. On your mom I lay that blame. Oh, don't blame her. I am so tired of people blaming her. There's nothing wrong with her. People, she asks. You mean your father? I don't say anything. Before you can see her again, you have to learn to clean. There's no other way. Before I can see her. This isn't the 1700s on a southern plantation. What does cleaning have to do with my mom? Mundane tasks lead to great adventures, she says, her eyes twinkling. She walks inside, leaving me the brush and bucket. Keep a wrangle on her, Tangle, Grandma says to Tangle as she shuts the door. For those of you that don't remember, Tangle's the cat. Adventure. It's a total excuse for parents to get children to work in inhospitable conditions. Adventure, I say, choking on the unfairness of it all. No wonder Mom ran away with Dad, I say to Tangle. He doesn't say anything. Instead, he just sits like a sphinx under the roof watching me. The real question of this is, where is Mom and how do I find her, Tangle? She's all alone. Who knows if she lost her mind? She does not need me cleaning. She needs me. And that's the end of chapter 7. And now we're going to read chapter 8. What do you guys think? Is she going to make some good choices? Okay, give me some hearts right here if you think that Iona's now about ready to make some good choices, or give me some angry faces if you think she's going to make some bad choices. Who thinks she's making good choices after this, and who thinks she's making angry face bad choices? I don't know if I've got a delay on this end from you guys. Someone give me some good choices and someone give me some bad choices. Okay, I don't see anything, but I think it's because I have a delay from all of you. So, we'll find out right now. Chapter 8, entitled, oh, we've got a heart from Kathy. Kathy says good choices. Okay, Kathy. We'll see if she makes some good choices. Chapter 8, titled, Boy, These Boots. Without a plan, I drop the bucket and walk into the mist towards town. Does that sound like a good choice? We'll see. It isn't a big place. Rodeo Drive has more action. Seriously, Dingle Bay is so small that there can't be more than one mental institution in town. Someone has to know where it's located. If I can't find someone, I always have Tangle. I hadn't anticipated that he would actually listen to Grandma. I mean, he's still following me along the muddy, puddle-filled road, meowing the whole way. Meow, 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 meow. Go back. Leave. Go home, I say, shouting to Tangle. But he won't follow my orders. Instead, he saunters close at my heels. A few minutes pass in between the silence between us. Away, away, go back to the house of Grandma, I say to Tangle, trying my best Grandma technique of making bubbles disappear. Not that Tangle is a bubble, but it'd be great if he acted like one now. He just stares at me. Come on, Tangle, don't look at me like that. I'm not the bad guy. What would you do? He just meows back at me. His meow sounds like home, but like a cat saying home. I shake it off and walk down the road, knowing that it's the only way to town. During Flynn's cab ride of terror, there weren't any turnoffs before reaching Grandma's house. This should be easy. Dense mist hovers all around us. I can hardly see in front of me. While walking on the cliff, I hear waves crash on the rocky shore 100 feet below us. My feet crunch pebbles and sludge through the muddy road. Lost in the sounds around me, my mind wanders. It's easy to get lost in the mist and walk off a cliff in Ireland, Dad used to say. It's so not the best time to remember that. Now that plays like a song on auto replay in my mind. Aside from the possibility of sudden death, I like this moment. I am going to see Mom. I am making it happen. For now, I'm happy. Hours later, and several close calls of missing fatal steps into the crashing rocks below, the mist is thicker than Irish accents. The sun is non-existent. I assume the sun is setting because the sky is now dark gray. I sit down on a mossy rock and I rub my feet. These boots were made for walking the runway, not the muddy roads of Ireland. Blisters scream on the back of my heels. How am I going to put these torture devices back on? There is no sign of help anywhere. Not even Flynn and his maniacal death trap are nearby. Oh, my stomach rumbles and I remember that I missed breakfast. I will likely miss dinner too. My stomach churns from hunger. It feels like I haven't eaten in forever. What a poor plan. Rush, Mom would say. You're being impulsive and overly dramatic. You're just like me. I know that we're going the right way, Tangle. The ocean has stayed to the right of us the whole way. When driving to Grandma's house, the ocean was on the opposite side. It seems rational that if I keep walking this direction, eventually I'll run into Dingle Bay. Determined to find Mom, I shove the boots back on. My face scrunches and I try to ignore the pain in my feet. I continue walking, this time with a slight limp, every time the boots rub my blisters. Strange, we haven't made a hairpin turn. We could have turned and not known it. The mist is too dense. I say, trying to convince myself that it could be true. But I know better. Hi, Erica. I'm usually really good with directions. I don't understand, I say, picking up Tangle and walking with him in my arms. Back home, Dad would have grounded me for a month for this. But Grandma doesn't know that. Who knows how much cleaning she'll make me do when she finds out. By then it won't matter though, because Mom will fix it and we'll go home. Okay, a new home, Tangle. Tangle, you're officially my best friend. Here in Ireland. His tail tickles under my chin. Iona. A man's voice calls my name on the wind. I don't see anyone. The sound of the crashing ocean fades away. Iona, the voice says sharply. A shadow streaks in the mist around us. Mom's crystal burns on my neck. Oops. It's okay. We're still here. Tangle hisses, and his fur stands on end. Quickly, he jumps out of my arms. He bites my boot and drags me back toward him. The mist parts in large waves as Tangle runs away before it closes in on itself, trapping me. I'm about to run after him, but something strange stops me. A shadow in the mist becomes darker. It solidifies into the wee man cloaked in black. Iona, he says, his voice muffled and echoing around me. I run, I don't stop, trying to get to Tangle. My eyes close hard as I try to get rid of the image of the wee man. Who is he? What does he want? Darkness sets in all around Tangle and me. The stars are the only light in the sky. We keep moving as quickly as possible. Ahead in the distance, the mist clears. A smokestack swirls out of an old chimney toward the moon. That cursed red moon! What's wrong with that moon? Why is it red and pockmarked? The smoke trails and chimney are connected to an old cottage. Tangle runs up to the back door and scratches. A light goes on inside. The door opens, letting Tangle inside as if he's been expected. The closer I run to the cottage, the more familiar it starts to look. Pre-famine cottage stones cemented with centuries of debris. There's a bright blue back door, and I imagine there's a matching front door too. This can't be. I've been traveling all day toward town. The ocean always remained on the right. I've never even made a hairpin turn. Logically, I would have to walk the entire perimeter of Ireland, traveling in that direction to be back at Grandma's cottage. It's my imagination, I decide. All logic would agree with me. The blue door and old mossy stones must be a popular look for pre-famine Irish cottages. Hopefully someone inside has a phone or way to take me back to reality. My frozen knuckles rap on the door, hoping the owner will be as hospitable to me as she was to Tangle. Before I'm done knocking, the door opens. Give a care and come inside. Don't catch your death, Grandma says. Grandma? I ask, embracing her in a huge hug. Warm air envelops me inside the cottage. You can't be for real, I say. This can't be happening. I'm right back where I started after lunch. As she closes the door, I look back toward the mist outside. The mist is gone. Stars shimmer in the sky. My body shivers. I don't ever want to see that wee man again. And that's the end of chapter 8. Dun, dun, dun. That's the end of chapter 8. Whew. Hi, Camden. Here's a big heart for you. Hi, Susan. Another heart for you, too. That's the end of chapter 7 and chapter 8. Iona just got back to her grandmother's cottage. That was scary. Oh, that gave me the chills when I was writing that too. When I wrote that chapter initially, it gave me the creeps, and I was like, ugh. I don't know how that was for you guys, but it creeps me out every time I think of it. So I hope you enjoyed it. We are going to have the next Iona Fay reading on July 9th at 8 p.m., but don't go anywhere because I have lots of really exciting, fun things to share with you about our trip across America, Iona Fay. We're going to go take a trip across America. We're going to be leaving within the next week or two, hopefully within the next week. And we're going to be traveling to a bunch of national parks across the way. So you're going to see lots of beautiful places. We're going to be doing readings along the way, meeting lots of people. Please go ahead. Hi, Tracy. Here's some hearts for you and your family. Please go ahead and send in your Iona Fay names that you think would be good for the trailer. So we've got the Airstream. Go ahead and go a few places below. I've gone ahead and posted a couple pictures of it. I've been remodeling it, and so you get to see what it looks like mid-remodel, a couple posts below. But please go ahead and put in whatever name you think would be good for us to travel with. So we are going to name this Airstream trailer for our fun journey. And I've been redoing my website. Excuse me. I've been redoing my website. So there's going to be lots of fun stuff on the new website. You're going to be able to find the blog there. So you're going to be able to see where we've been traveling. You're going to get to see updates and all sorts of fun stuff as we go along. I just have all these fun ideas are coming to me about what we're going to do while we travel. So just wait and see. There's going to be lots of little interviews happening and things like that. So we're planning on having a lot of fun, and hopefully you'll be coming with us. Hi, Mac. Nice to see you. Lots of love back at you, Tracy. Thank you. And so we also have, I mentioned earlier, the website's also going to have some really fun free things for you and your kids to do together. I've got some Iona Fay Book 1 and Book 2 word searches. I've got some crossword puzzles. I have some free downloadable little, what's it called, coloring book pictures, so you can go ahead and print those off and you and your kids can color. It's just lots of fun stuff that you guys can do together, or your kids can do with their friends. So it'll be fun, and I'll let you know as soon as it's up. And I want to say thank you to Jim's Gems for the crystal necklace that will be given away to the lucky winner who goes ahead and names the Airstream trailer. And I want to send big hugs and lots of love to all the people who joined me tonight. It is so wonderful to see all of you. So happy to see you. I will see you again soon on July 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I have no idea at that point what our time zone will be, but I guarantee you we're going to have fun. So big hugs, lots of love coming your way, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.